last week, someone brought up the idea of gingerbread meal. And I thought, oh my goodness, we could try that. So I did some experimenting. I got on the internet, my style, look at 3 to 5 different recipes, put them together, and then substitute applesauce for the oil, substitute flax eggs for the eggs, substitute maple syrup and stevia for the brown sugar. And after a couple of tries, it came out pretty good. Bring it over and show me.
Oh, it's so
Don't put your
cute.
finger there.
Oh,
Just hold it
okay.
together.
But I'm pressing the button.
So we have gingerbread men. So these are the recipe, the kind of transformed recipe, and of course they're made with flour. And I really like trying to find whole food forms of desserty type recipes. So I'm going to show you what's called a reindeer cookie, reindeer crunch cookie. And I made these ahead of time, and I pushed one into our little gingerbread man cookie cutter. So we've got a whole food gingerbread man too.
Tell them what flour you used in the mean gingerbread.
Yeah, so the flour, I like to make my own flour just from rolled oats. So it's, freshly ground. You can use any flour that you like. And then this is, I've just made some little rounds out of the little pieces of gingerbread dough that was, rolled out, but not enough to make a man. And this is then the
Reindeer crisp.
Reindeer crunch cookies. Now, these are made, you can put this back in. These are made from bananas. So this is all whole food, these reindeer crunch cookies. I found on the website with Rip Esselstyn, who has this Plant Strong community, and it's wonderful. I love that. It's plantstrong.com if you want to go on. I love what Rip's doing. He's really following what his father, Caldwell Esselstyn, who's the MD cardiologist who worked with Bill Clinton, the former President Bill Clinton, when he started having heart problems, and Bill went vegan and, basically turned his health around. So Rip is out there. He's got this community doing great things. And he had this, what was called reindeer crunch cookies. And I thought, oh, I can't pass up that. And it's all whole foods. So it's right up my alley. So I'm going to make just a half batch today because you can see there's a lot already here for someone to eat. And Connie and Aisha are doing this juice cleanse, heavy metal detox over the next 7 days. So she's not going to be partaking in any of this. And so I'm doing a half recipe. So by the way, if any of you want to join Connie and Aisha, just let Connie know. I'm sure she'll bring you into the fold. Okay, so the recipe is bananas, almonds, rolled oats, cinnamon, dried cranberries, and dates. So it's all whole foods. I love that. So I've got the bananas in here. I add the almonds, and I wanted to show you my little almond chopper. I prefer this. I always used to put the almonds out on the cutting board and get them just the size I want. It's kind of messy. It takes quite a bit of time. I found this at a store.
Lee Valley, I thought.
Yeah, it was Lee Valley, which is a Canadian company, but you can get these things in the US too. And it just turns this little cutter, and then the drop down below, it's got the little measurements and everything down here. It's really great. So I do my nuts this way now. The thing about it, when I cut my nuts with a knife, they're all pretty much the same size. With this cutter, they're not quite as uniform, and you get some parts of the nut that are very fine. But for my baked goods, I'm fine with that. So here's my almonds, my chopped almonds, my rolled oats.
That's what I love about this recipe. The rolled oats make it so much texture, and I like that a lot better than flour.
Yeah. Connie and I both prefer the more whole food. type dessert now, as opposed to the conventional, the traditional baked goods that are always made with flour. We find that when we do the whole food desserts, our bodies respond quite differently. They really do like that more whole food quality. So there's the cinnamon, our cranberries,
Dried cranberries, huh?
dried cranberries, and chopped dates. So there's that.
That is a very simple recipe. I like
Very
that.
simple, yeah. So you saw I had already kind of mashed, pureed the banana in there.
2 bananas for
Well,
half.
this was 1.5. The recipe
Oh.
calls for 3
Oh, okay.
bananas. The original recipe called for 4. So the first batch that I made, which is the gingerbread man and those other cookies that you saw, that was made with 4 bananas. And Connie and I both thought they were a little wet and a little soft. So I don't know why Rip calls these reindeer crunch. They certainly didn't get crunchy for us. But we really liked the flavor. We really liked how they tasted. And we liked the whole food nature of them, having the rolled oats instead of the flour. So these are definitely quite a bit drier than the originals, and I think we're going to like that better. So the binder in these is just the banana. So that's what keeps them all together. And we put them in the oven at 375. And
How long do they have to cook?
the rest of the original recipe said 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
And I think I baked our first batch for about 25. They were pretty wet with all that banana. So we'll set the timer at like 10 minutes and see what it's like. But I think it's probably going to be more like 15 minutes with them being as moist as they are with this much banana. So I was thinking, if you like the idea of a whole food gingerbread man and you want to do what I did, I would leave the cranberries out of this if you wanted to have more of that gingerbread flavor. I would leave the cranberries out, and I would add a teaspoon of ginger. So it picks up the ginger. See, there's no ginger in this recipe. So
That would be tasty too.
that would give it more of that gingery quality. Now, I'm seeing these are not sticking together like the original version did. We'll see how crumbly they are after they cook. See if they hold together enough with just the.
They look good though.
Yeah, they're cute, huh?
Cute.
That's what we like. We don't want just good tasting. We want cute.
I think those gingerbread men are so adorable. They are so cute.
So yeah, typically gingerbread men are iced. They put the little face on, the little stockings and belt, whatever you want. And they do that with what they call, I think it's called a royal icing or something like that. Basically, fat and sugar.
Yeah.
And so you can create kind of that gingerbread man appearance just by using a knife. You can put the little eyes and the nose and the mouth and that. It's not nearly as traditional and cute as the icing, but I have not come up with a way to get kind of an icing that you can pipe like that would be anything but refined sugar. So if any of you come up with an idea of how we could create an icing like they use on gingerbread man, that would be not just straight refined sugar, I'd love to give it a try. So put your thinking caps on. See what you think. See what you come up with, and we'll give it a try.
That's quite nice. You don't have too many cookies, but
Well,
just
this is a half
enough
batch, yeah.
for 2 people with a half batch.
Yeah, that's true, for 2 people. So with everything that's around the kitchen right now, I think I maybe sharing it with the neighbors again. I already took some gingerbread over to our neighbor Jim. He was so cute. So they're vegetarian, but they're not vegan. So I take them over and he gives them a try. And he texts me back. He goes, "Oh, those are really good. I think I'll have some with some cream cheese." Oh, yeah, that's good, Jim. Yeah, that'll make them tasty. Which, you know, I totally get. I mean, that would have been my go-to not that many years ago. Well, maybe it is many years ago now. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I used to do. I just love that sugar and salt.
Show them the cake also.
Okay. So the other thing, the other recipe that we're going to give you this week is called a banana oat cranberry bake. This too came from Rick Esselstein's site. It's really quick and easy too. Very simple ingredients.
A lot of pineapple.
Yeah, 20 ounces of pineapple, you know, pineapple tidbits, 8 ounces of whole cranberries.
Not the dehydrated ones
Not
that are
dried,
sweet.
Fresh,
Yeah.
fresh cranberries, which is really nice. And a few other things. And then for the topping, it's just chopped almonds with cinnamon. So it's kind of like a streusel or crumble topping on top. And I thought it was pretty good. Connie really liked it.
And I don't like baked
And
goods
she's not into baked goods. So we're going to share that with you too.
because it has that whole oat taste and
Yeah.
texture that I think is so good.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to drop these in the oven, 375. And set a little timer. And are there any questions? Just unmute yourself if you have a question.